There are forces that are trying to destroy this podcast. So I'm going to carry on. This is part 2 of the fatigue and bipolar disorder podcast. So if you haven't listened to the main bulk of the podcast, it's in called part 1. There are forces, trust me, that are trying to destroy my podcast, but I'm not going to let it. Trust me. So, on a simple level, I'm not going to be distracted. So, the lotus, as I was explaining in part 1 of the podcast, just suddenly my mobile stopped. In part, when slamming doors, interesting. Cowardly we're not. Some things are trying to destroy this podcast. Don't worry, I'm better prepared. So the lotus is universally known as a symbol of consciousness awakening. In Sanskrit it's called the Sahasrara, which means 1,000-petal lotus. The 1,000 petals, each petal is a reflection. It's beyond thought, we're a reflection. So the lotus is when you are awakening. We want to try and return yourself to a homeostatic place where there's balance. You have a balance. You're not over burning out, you're not over manning, you're not over talking, you're not overthinking, you don't have racing thoughts, disassociative thoughts, dysfunctional thoughts. Return to a more balanced central place. The lotus is very much about this blossom. When you're in that centered place, just imagine and reflect on this beautiful, beautiful central lotus that you are. It's very much an oriental concept, an idea, but it is in Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism. What I'd like you to do, providing we don't get disrupted, is I'd like you to choose a path. You don't need to be a spiritual person. I am a spiritual person. But why don't you try one of them, okay? Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Taoism, Gaiaism, paganism, because they're all there to do with an end aim, the goal, the step in faith into something that is beyond yourself, and they're all good things. Jesus says, all those that are weary and worried and overwhelmed, come to me and I will give you rest. So choose a path. Open your mind to these great vehicles, as they're called. What does Jesus mean by I will give you rest? What he means is that stop worrying about yourself, because there is a spirit, a force. In Christianity it's called the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. You know, things beyond your physical self, the bigger picture, the universe, the bigger universe. If you're able to transcend your basic identity and yourself, you can connect with forces that are much powerful and greater, that are very healing, because all they are. There's not one word in the whole of the New Testament, or I call it the Book of Light, not one word that is against you, that is contradicts you, that will reject you. It's all about being forgiven, accepting, accept who you are, accept where you are, but realize your value. You've got to then contribute, but work and contribute, because you have value. So when he says, come to me, what he means is, bring on your troubles. You're not going to be rejected. You're not going to be hated. You're not going to be considered inadequate. Whether you've killed someone, whether you're a drug addict, whether you are selfish, whether you have sexual problems, whether you are just an unpleasant person, You're going to turn it off, because these will cause the bars. You will surround yourself in a cage of negative energy, and that cage will drag you down like an anchor, and you'll become negative. Don't try to please other people all the time. Don't give away yourself. Don't throw your precious self to people or animals that are unworthy. So it isn't easy, but if you just, in your own space, just with Jesus, you just speak out loud, say you're sorry, or that you believe in him, and try reading a book, and you mean it, things will happen, strange things will happen to you, good things. If you are more of a Muslim, you can follow the enlightened teachings of Muhammad, and there are rows there about rejection of the material world, non-materialism, good, clean, honest, speak the truth, keep yourself clean, love God, love the universe, love your neighbours, help your neighbours, be kind to people that have problems. It's all in the teachings. That you may want Mother Gaia, very much about connecting to nature and Taoism and living in harmony and with the land and the universe and putting in and back, and there are many, and Buddhism as well, the Buddhist way, very much about breathing, helping, and using virtues. This comes on to the last point I'm going to mention here. Our virtues. What is a virtue? Virtues is very close to the word values. And what's a value? A value is something, think of it as an instrument to help you. Okay, if you're making something, you need tools, or if you're cooking, you need tools, pots, pans, ladles, spatulas, spoons, forks, knives. You need tools. So virtues are, think of them as tools. What do I mean by virtues? By virtues, we can use what Aristotle identified, his 10 virtues. You have honesty. Be honest with yourself. Patience. Courage. Consider things beyond yourself. Don't become anxious and upset so easily. Try and be more tolerant, override the thing. Be friendly to other people. Don't hoard all yourself for yourself. Give some away, have charity. In many Western societies now it's not easy to give to people in need, because it's all controlled. It's a societal control. If you go to places where there is more poverty, in say Latin America or Africa or India, you're going to meet so many people that have desperate need, and in giving you will receive. Remember, it means breaking that cycle of miserliness. Miserless meaning all about you and you and you. Try and give something to other people. Now these are called virtues, and I'd like you to key in your mobile phone when you have time Aristotle's golden mean. Okay, now Aristotle's golden mean, in his book, you don't need to know, but written to his father, or Nicomachean Ethics, sorry, to his son, Nicomachean Ethics, who goes through these qualities which allow us to break out of depression, allow us to harmonize ourselves again, to find that balance, and to center yourself. So he says there's two extremes, as in bipolar. There is an extreme of giving everything away, in a stupid way, on the other extreme would be miserless, keeping it all to yourself, a miserable hoard, a thing. In the middle would be some generosity. Then there would be over keen, overzealous, over exerting, and on the other side there would be anger and intolerance. They call it irascibility. In the middle of that you have patience, abiding, hear people that shouldn't be coming where I am in the space, but we'll see if we're distracted. So Aristotle has another thing, justice. He talks about, be honest. So instead of cheating people, lying and cheating, and then instead of no cheating, doing nothing, try and find a middle way, a modicum. Try and find a middle way there. Just be honest. Honest with yourself. To cheat people, deceive people, lie people. Because in deceiving other people, you're going to end up deceiving yourself. Be bitten in your backside by your own dog that you've let go. Another noise. It's alright. I'm centered where I am. So Aristotle talks about centering yourself, finding the balance, helps to find the balance. They are like ways and means. It's all a list, they're all listed down, I've identified some of them. In Buddhism, for example, you have the paramitas, qualities which help you to transcend, stressful situations, anxious situations, trauma, patience, ksanti, virya, courage, meditation, dhyana, ahimsa, non-violence. These are qualities which allow us to transcend qualities in ourselves which can be destructive. So hate, violence, stealing, robbing, these go against the universal harmony of the universe, and you'll end up becoming worried, anxious, depressed. These are self-destructive mechanisms. So the opposite of a virtue is a vice. These are vices. So in Buddhism and Hinduism, they have this wheel. It's called the wheel of Dharma. Dharma is the cycles, the rhythms of the universe, which I mentioned in part 1 of this podcast. So each one of these bars on the wheel, on the axis of the axle there, the central part. One of these are all qualities. So think of them as virtues that you have. What are your virtues? What are the parts of your personality which are good? What are that you can trust in? What are the parts that are not so good, that you're not necessarily so happy about? So like I said earlier on, turn on the good parts of yourself and recognize them, and turn off the parts of personality which are, gonna cause your problems to yourself. I won't go through these. It's called the Aya Astanga Marga. Aya means the noble, the virtuous. Astanga means 8-limbed. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 parts of the wheel. So as I was saying, patience, tolerance, courage. But there's courage there, energy. You've got to be motivated to move forward. So, ways and means. To recap, we're looking at finding virtues within ourselves, qualities. Look up Aristotle's virtues, if you like, and they will be tools to enable you to find and help to cope with some balance. Trust yourself, believe in yourself. You are a miracle. There are miracles going all the way around you. Whatever you say, you're a very, very special person. And then try to explore Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, Jainism, Gaiaism. All these I'm exploring in my podcast. So if you have any interest in, say, Buddhism or Taoism or Hinduism or even Islam, then hopefully you'll have time to view one of my podcasts, visit them, and I will share with you as best as I can and engage with you in the underlying principles and concepts, their virtues, their qualities. And of course, in a religion, we're latching onto something else beyond ourselves. Religio means to fasten. We're fastening on to something that's going to pull us out, take us to a better place. It means letting go of your I-ness, being yourself, but let go of this identity of your clothes, your thing, your personalities, your individualities. Let go of these, of your over-conceptualized mind. Let go of these concepts and let's connect to the bigger picture, bigger concepts, more transformative, and we can transition from a depressed state, an anxious state, a traumatic state, a traumatized state, into a more calm, fulfilled, regulatory and meaningful and purposeful, happier place. And within all of that, I mean, we can find ourselves and find that balance of, and find who we really are in the world, which of course is one of the great difficulties of life, to know who we are, what we are, and what our purpose is. But you can have purpose. You are already special. You are an amazing miracle in life. So another thing is, if you have time again, visit my podcast about the Amazing World series, which looks at how plants trap light and turn light and water into sugar and carbohydrate, how your eyes can see and discern light and space using light, which, as I've mentioned many times, travels at 186,000 miles a second. Or another one on how your mobile phone, you can send an image and a photograph to all around the world and it'll be there in 1 second. How? There is it's good to train your mind, train yourself, and to follow these processes. I've got another one, how your nerves and your body work, your nerves and your muscles work, which is tied into my podcast on nervousness and anxiety, and how your body's actually working when you are depressed and anxious and worried, and what those triggers are and how to turn off those triggers. That's covered in a specific podcast. Depression, fatigue, anxiousness. I hate all those things. Really hate them. It's a terrible, but we need to stand up and engage, own up to who we are, realize we're amazing. Thank you.